Hey, welcome back, viewers, to some more Kenshi 365 here on the Gamer Guide channel. And where we left off last time, we had Cyberdax and Lars going out to the Southern Stone Camp, and they had tried to rescue some slaves, imprison some of the guards there, and try to take down Slave Master Reuben, who's part of the Traders Guild. Slave Master Reuben seems especially resistant to being kidnapped, so it didn't work out, but we're going to send the army there this episode, take out Slave Master Reuben, and then we're also going to try to hit Port North with our main army. If you remember from last time, we had the Green Keep army, we had the Winds army, and we had Tor the Fearless, Guero's army, the Shek army, come together and head out east to take down the Traders Guild, and we packed up a lot of extra equipment. But anyway, so Cyberdax has gone back to one of the abandoned trade masters' villages, or one of the slavers' villages that was abandoned. We found these slaves inside that had been kind of abandoned there and left to die, and we cleared out the clutter, released them, unshackled them, and released them as you just saw. But a couple of the slaves decided to join our cause, which we're happy to have. I think I still have about 50-some slots left, as we're well over 200 members now in the Warriors of Winds. So we just picked up Hep, and looks like we also picked up Jin, who is the Shek over there. He was talking about ripping heads off, so I'll probably end up sending off Jin to go be part of Guero and train up with Toro the Fearless, where Hep will probably head over to the Forge, or the hub basically, Forge, Peak Top Forge. And we'll take this other guy over too and see if we can get him some help, as we're just trying to get all the prisoners out and bring freedom over here to the United Cities. So Jin and Hep will follow us over, and we'll head back over here to the tower in the Grey Desert, where we have our kind of waypoint station that we're sharing with the ninjas and all that good stuff. And we got our tower here where we can rest up our injured soldiers. We had a couple people take a couple minor injuries to legs and stuff like that on combat, mostly out there in the desert on the way to and fro our targets. So we're going to get everybody healed back up and ready to go, and then we're going to head over to the Southern Stone Camp this episode and take them off. And then after that we'll go to Port North. So here we are. We're kind of jumping ahead a bit, but I took the army out over to the Southern Stone Camp here. And we got some guards out, so it looks like these are the guards probably on the side we didn't take out last time in the last episode with Cyberdax and Lars, as they knocked out a lot of the guards on the other side of the camp. And I'm not sure if it's fully replenished, but we do have guards up here too in Slave Master Reuben's quarters. So we're going to break in here in a little bit, probably take in the Shek warriors and Lars, and we'll rescue some people. So I ran in to do a little reconnaissance. I noticed a couple slaves going back to their cages, so I figured this would be a good time. Let's try to unlock some of them and get them out of here. See if we can get this other one too. So, unfortunately, they keep walking when you're trying to unlock their shackles, so I might only have success in grabbing one guy, but I can only carry one, and as they will probably go hostile, I'm going to go in and snatch him up real quick, and then we'll head back out. But it doesn't look like there's too many guards to deal with here, so I think we can go with a lighter army instead of taking all three armies with us. We'll just go with the Shek warriors in this one. So let me go and pick up Brecht here, and let's see if we can help him out real quick. I think I have some food on me, and probably have a sword too you could borrow real quick that I picked up off some of the guards. So we'll throw that over real quick, give him a katana, and a little bit of dried meat. Get him out of the starving state he's in. And I don't think we're going to clear out everybody in this camp. I really just want to grab Slave Master Reuben, and then that will pretty much decommission the camp. We can always come back here if we think there's any slaves left after the camp's been decommissioned. So let's head back out here. And we'll go ahead and bring our guys up to storm the walls here in a second. So I've already kind of partitioned out the rest of the army from the Sheks, and at first I was just going to send Lars and Toro the Fearless's group over here. Oops. Well, the other guy saw me. So I was hoping to knock out some of the guards to make it a little bit easier for everybody, but this is what we got, so we'll work with that. I'm going to go ahead and move up the Guero group. There they are. I was having a hard time finding them there on the bar. We'll move them forward real quick and get them ready to attack. And let's move Lars back the other way. Says the world needs slaves, terrorist. Go fuck your loony ideas. I don't think it's very loony, man. We're here to free the slaves. You're going to have to get used to it. So, it's a new day in the United Cities, man. You get on board or you're going to get dropped by my crew. Alright, let's get out of here. I dropped the slave to run a little faster, but honestly that might have been a mistake, as those guards seem to be catching him. But I did give him a sword, so at least he has a fighting chance. And our army's coming in, so we'll patch him up if he ends up getting hit by these guys. Alright, where is everybody? There they are. Let's go ahead and bring them up the pathway here. And we'll go and intercept these guards that are chasing Lars. Got somebody up on the turret too, but I'm not too worried as all the Shek warriors have good armor. It's all specialized or better. I did notice that one of them was missing a shirt. I'm not sure exactly how that happened. But we'll have to go back and check their gear when we get back into town. After we get done hitting up this camp, like I said, we're going to go hit up the Port South, and then I'm going to try to hit Port North. We do have enough food and supplies on the army and the pack animals and stuff to be able to do a full run like that. So as long as we don't get too beat up by the guards in these missions where we have to put people in bed, I think we're going to be in good shape. Alright, so we got Champ and a couple guys taking some initial hits, but these guys should go down pretty quickly. I'm already seeing some green numbers. Let's patch Lars up real quick because I'm going to need him back inside in stealth, so I don't need him hurt. And let's come up here. Okay, looks like the turret got taken down already. Or the guards coming out to take us on the ground, which is not a good plan. I definitely would have kept him up on the walls, but I've noticed that these guards don't make the best decisions when it comes to guarding their keep. They see enemies, they like run out instead of going behind the walls and using the turrets and locking the gate. Uh-oh, our man Breck got wrecked. So the slaver did not last very long against these guards, which I didn't really expect him to, but we'll send Lars over there and patch him back up, get him healed up. Hopefully he can get up on his feet when we take off from here. At least get him out of the danger zone of dying from a stomach wound, which must have been pretty terrible, as he's laying in a pool of his own blood right now. Alright, so let's go ahead and get these guys in there real fast. Looks like the rest of the army decided to join in too, which is commendable, but I actually want them all out here, so I might stick them on hold so they don't try to run in and help again. As I just need some of these guys in there. I don't need all of them. One of the things I can do is if the Shek warriors take a lot of damage in this raid, that we can just rotate out the armies in the next one, and that way we don't have to stop. Give the Shek a little more time to rest up while the other armies hit the other camps. As one thing I found out in the last episode is that we're definitely a little bit more powerful than we needed to be coming out here. We're just absolutely, crushing them as far as our numbers go. And pretty much all my guys have great weapons and armor, and some skill in combat, even the ones from the Green Keep, with the exception of a couple people like Diego. Alright, so what I'm going to do here is we're running up Lars, our master of the clandestine services, to go check what's going on here, if the door's ready to go. Take down some of these guards too with his knockout stealth ability. And if we can take them all down, that's even better. That way we can get into the house without any obstructions. Oop, didn't work out. Looks like one of them noticed as we tried to bash him right in the face. But 2 guards is better than 4 guards, so we did our job there. Took down half of their defense force here. That's actually going to be somewhat of a challenge to us, as these elite guards tend to have pretty good stats, even though their gear is not the best, generally speaking. Said, more anti-slaver lackeys. Damn you, enemy, you'll pay for this. So they definitely know that we're part of the anti-slavers faction now, as we've made it abundantly clear whose team we're on. And we have not gone to the diplomats to fix our faction relation. We're just going to go ahead and leave it destroyed, as I don't think we can at this point, after taking out Longren, who was the leader of the Traders Guild. That pretty much puts you over the edge of what the diplomats will allow when you go back and try to pay for a better relationship with the faction you've offended. So basically taking out their leader is like one step too far, which is definitely understandable. So now I don't know if we're beyond it with the slavers, but I don't even know where the slavers diplomat is. I'd have to look and see. Alright, let's come inside here real quick. I think what I want to try to do is just take Lars upstairs. We're going to try to abduct Slave Master Reuben one more time here. The last few times we failed, and we actually had a 95% chance of getting him. So I think he just has a special resistance to being abducted. This time it is 98% chance. So if a 95 and a 98% chance both fail, say like he's already up out of his bed. So he's obviously got some special ability against being abducted, at least when sleeping. That didn't work. That failed. So, and that was, I think, a 65% chance. It says, "Arg, filthy drags, shoo!" That's not exactly the reaction I'd have if somebody came into my room and punched me in the face trying to knock me out. And I like how his guards were like thinking of getting up out of bed, and they were like, "Oh, should we go in there and rescue him?" Nah. And they jumped right back into their beds. I don't think Slave Master Reuben's been treating him very well for some reason. Alright, meanwhile, we've decided to corner some of their elite guards in their iron processing machine, or whatever this is, stone processing machine, and we're just steadily trying to shove him inside. It looks like the crabs have grabbed his body and they're trying to like push him in the stone processor, but he is down. He's down and he's shoved underneath the stone processor in front of the building. So hold on, we might have one more guy because I see everybody else kind of facing that way. Oh yeah, we have one other guy behind us, but he's now being ignored. We're trying to psychologically harm him. We'll take him out with insults. Alright, so we'll have Beast and these guys come back in and finish him up. They should be pretty competent and be able to take him out. Wow, that guy's hit only did 1 damage to Beast. Alright, he's down. We're coming back in. We're going to try just another knockout assault here. The last one didn't work, but we have a 65% chance again to take him down. It says, "Greasy peasant! Ah! Get rid of it, guards!" As the guards continue to sleep right next to him, ignoring him. They're like, "We're tired of hearing you, Reuben. You whine too much. One too many times, Reuben. We're not getting up for you tonight." And they'll just keep sleeping. Alright, we got Reuben's sword. We grabbed his raggedy clothes. Actually, they're not too bad. I guess in the Kenshi standards, these are pretty fly rags. And we're snatching up his goods. Snatching up his picture and his little... It looks like a little jar of some kind of vase that's empty. And one of those eggs you paint for Easter, which I guess are just highly valued in this world. Or what are those eggs called? The little fancy art eggs you can buy? I don't even know, but I know they have a certain name to them. They're collectible. And inside we're going to trade his hashies out for some food, as he can keep the drugs. We're not doing the drug trade. And his guards say in their sleep, "I am not a meat sack." They probably just feel like their master was talking to them in their sleep, and they're like, "I am not a meat sack, Reuben." Well, don't worry, guards. You will soon have a new job, as Reuben is not going to be able to pay you anymore. So he will be executed very shortly in our Great Tower. Okay. Yeah, at the way station, as we finish taking up some of these slavers that are now trying to stop us. That guy got his arm chopped off for talking smack. And let's take the shuck out of here. We've pretty much done what we need to. We'll just take out any guards that are in our way. This heavy samurai, or samurai heavy, is pretty bad shape. You just take a bolt to the chest and is reeling backwards. Give him a pinch there, whoopins. See what you can do. What do they call you, whoopins? Or kraken, somebody. One of you grabs, pinch his little head off. There we go. That guard is down. And not looking very good. Left arm at 1. He was definitely going to lose some limbs. All right, that should put the South Stone Camp out of commission now that we've grabbed the main target, who kind of controls the payroll there. Uh-oh, looks like some of the slaver guards have come in, and they've decided to re-enslave Brecht, but we'll have to take care of that here. Have to unenslave Brecht, and let's take out these guys, as they don't need to be patching people up inside. They're perfectly good as dead meat bags on the side of the road. It's a good purpose for them. So did we finish everybody up? Oh, that guy's still alive. He just took a major gut check. Let's go ahead and take Lars, and then we'll just use our knockout ability in stealth and take him out. At least that's the plan. Unless we see him, because he's going to probably, like a smart guard, try to go up on the wall. Well, we managed to stealth, put everybody into stealth. Let's go and undo that. He's probably going to go up on the wall like a smart guard and try to use the turret, which is what they should have done at the beginning of this whole thing. When you see a large army of Shek warriors running at you and you're at a gate, go behind the gate and close it, and go up on the wall and use your turrets. That's what we would do. Alright, he's out. He traded me a 8 damage punch to the head for a knockout blow. I'll take it. We'll go and strip his weapons. Hey, that was the weapon I gave to Brecht, I think. But we'll just toss it away here. Just give him healed back up and unlocked, and we'll move on to the next target here soon. I don't want anybody else going back inside. Let's get gathered back up here by the rest of the army and get patched up. We've done all the damage we need to, and I just want this camp decommissioned, as we don't need another 10 people with no skills following us around for this run at least. Meanwhile, back at the Grey Tower, our prisoner cage are all full. The Blood Raider that Rosefall had rescued last episode is patched back up and together, so we're going to give him a haircut and fix him up a little bit here, and we'll go ahead and call him Atomos. We'll make him a ninja and get him trained up. He has got some decent skills because he's a Blood Raider, so he's basically coming in as skilled as Rosefall was, as Rosefall was also a Blood Raider. So we figured we could use him somewhere out there in the world, as he will be a little easier to train up. We probably have some basic gear here. We might have to give him some kind of raggedy stuff that we've pulled off some of the dead corpses outside, because we haven't had a resupply in a while. But anything is better than nothing, so we'll go and give him some of the clothes here off the slavers. We can definitely get him a fog mask and a basic saber to start fighting with, and a little bit of medical supplies, and then I figured we'll go train him up. But most likely I'm going to have to do a run back home after we're done raiding all the villages, and we'll just take some of these new guys with us so they can go equip up with new weapons and armor in town at the hub, or at Peak Top Forge, or Guero, or the Green Keep, as they all have forges. Actually, I'd like to see when we get back into the Green Keep how that's going, because both Fire Starter and Fire Tender are our new forge masters out there. I'd like to see how their armor crafting's going. But right now, they're out in military battle duty. Alright, I went ahead and brought Ruben in here, and Slave Master Ruben is not going to be here too long. We'll either take him over to the anti-slavers or execute Slave Master Ruben. Let's just see what he has to say for himself. He says, "Please," as he cries. It's very nice. Please is good manners, but we're not letting you out. And he says please again. So he is now remorseful that probably that he got caught. And we're also going to take one of these samurai captains that we knocked out from actually the Traders Guild. I don't think I did this off camera, but I snatched one of the lieutenants of the army, or whatever, or captain, I guess it is, of the army from the Traders Guild, and he had great stats, so I said, we're going to try to recruit this guy. And we did. So for 15,000 cats, he decided to switch sides and go for the good guys. So now Captain Hank, who was unusually short, probably one of the shorter people in our entire guild, I decided to leave him that way, though, because I think the armor fits him better. But He might be short, but he's a badass. So, Captain Hank, welcome aboard. We'll probably be sending him out to some of the more hostile areas of the world after we get him re-equipped with some better weapons and armor. In the meantime, though, we have a new port city to take down. So we got the army outside, and we need to get them all ready to go. I've already taken the ammo and everything and got the archers geared back up, so I'm going to be taking the first 8 here: Voodoo, Molly, Mallory, Rucka, Grambler, Zepp, Hobbs, and Rollin, and they're going to go ahead and take an initial volley on the gate guards and just take them out with archery. And then we'll send in our 3 squads and divide them up amongst the area of this port south, and we'll take out all the guards and release all the prisoners. That's the plan. So as long as everything goes smoothly, we should be in good shape here. It's a little dusty, it's midday, but I think in this one we're just going to go ahead and hit them full force. And I'm not going to bother with too much of the sneaking around first to see where people are. There should be somewhere here in town a traders guild or slave master, probably both. Probably the slave masters are in the shops, and somebody will be the traders guild target, which we need to take down or take out or take with us to turn into the anti-slavers to decommission the town. So that's the goal of this. Looks like the guards have seen us. They say, "Fucking freedom preaching loonies." So they know that we are the anti-slavers guild. And for that, we'll send a volley of arrows at their face as they come charging at us. Let's see how long they last against our archers. And they're already eating dirt out there as they get shot. Got a pretty good volley going. It looks like some of them have decided this is not a good idea and they're turning back. And some of their less wise friends are still committed to the battle charge. Well, that guy was until he stopped cold in his tracks. And we have one guy who's decided to become a medic instead of going to fight us, and he took a couple bolts to the face. And the last one decided, instead of going in the gate and closing it and going up on the ramp to man the turrets, he would just stand still and be a nice target for us as we shoot him in the chest for 100. Great. Can't complain about that. Thank you very much. You were a good pincushion. And we will now move the armies up. So the Green Keep army will put over to my left side, and then we'll have the Guerrero army of Shek warriors to our right, and we'll probably lead in with the Guerrero group as they are the most probably skilled combat units I have right now. Led by Toro the Fearless, who was in the first episode, if you remember that. It's been a while back now. But she has been quite a good leader for the Shek people over there. Keeping that place running smoothly. And we need to go ahead and launch the battle crabs here. So we'll go and put down all the crabs that we've been carrying. Get them ready to go so they can pinch fingers and toes off. Alright. Get your claws ready. Get ready to pinch. Go for the squishy spots. Alright, so we're sending them in, going through the gates, and we're going to go ahead and send in the Wind's Army second, as they're probably tied for combat efficiency or effectiveness, I would say, with Guerrero's group. As they're a little bit more of a mixed group, but they have more experience. As far as warriors, I think we have a couple of hivers and stuff in there, which is a little bit of a drawback when it comes to straight combat in this game. Alright, let's see how it goes. So we knocked out all the guards. No one else is waiting for us inside, as they clearly have not tripped the alarm off yet. So we'll just go ahead and make our way to the first group of guards we see and go ham on them. So we'll come up here and cut to the left, I guess. We've got a little trail, and I see some slaves out. So we can start releasing, unlocking the shackles of the slaves or something like that. I'm sure they'll get pissed off enough to come try to stop us. Ah, here we go. They already see us. So as their red says, They're yelling, "Bring them ruin." Well, you'll try. But that's what we're here to do, is bring you ruin. So the second group now is coming in. This is the Wind's army. We're going to go ahead and send them up the path and to the right. And we'll try to take the archers and put them here in the center too, so they can offer us some fire support. We'll probably hit up that storm house here to the bottom left of the screen too, with the Wind's army, and clear out some of these, making sure there's no slaves left inside locked up. And we'll also take some of these guys too and unlock shackles also, so let's bring them up here. I'm pausing a little bit too, just to kind of micromanage everybody. So I'm bringing the archers out. I'm going to put them on hold and spread them out, and they should go in here to firing mode in a second, as I think most of them still have bolts, though we are getting a little low on ammo. Probably could have done better on that. One thing I forgot to grab on the pack animals was extra ammo, which would have been good. So I know we can buy it up at some of the stores, but we don't want to go all the way back to the Great Tower to restock. And not only that, they don't have some of the bolts we actually need. So, but we should be fine. We don't need ranged attack for these raids. All right, we've already killed some of the masters, and I see the slaves are realizing that we're here to free them. So they're all saying, "Freedom! We have to get out of here. Now's my chance. Freedom! Let's get out of here." So good. They are realizing now's the time to make the move. Now's the time to stand up and kick your slaving overlord in the nuts. So get to it. Alright, we're going to unlock some shackles here. And we got the Green Army coming in. I will probably split them off straight down the path, or slightly to the right and further in, to kind of surround or spread out my forces here in the buildings. Looks like we got some people, slaves over here on the far right side of the camp. A couple of the guards are noticing. They're saying, "I cannot run the empire, anti-slaver rats." Does it look like we're running? The only place we're running to is towards you. So you're not going to have any problem finding us. Alright, and I took Rollin and put him over here on the side too, so he can offer some fire support on the side of the camp. Still got some slavers realizing that we're there to rescue him. Let's go ahead and see if we can unlock those shackles. We'll send Saint over there. So he doesn't seem to be doing anything at the moment, as all the guards are now dead that they were fighting, are severely wounded. Guards, come here at once. I think we just found the Slave Master, yeah, Slave Master Wada of the Traders Guild. So that is definitely the guy we came here to get. So we need to make sure we capture him or kill him here in this raid. So let's go ahead and target him real quick. As he screams, looks like we're going to have Tora the Fearless come over and slice him up. Let's see how his sword skills are. Not good enough there. He just took another hit to the left arm for 70. Now the chest, as she is whooping his butt. Not only that, but Tora the Fearless has the Metal Saber. So that's one of the best sabers in the game, or I guess the best saber in the game if you don't use a lot of mods. So she is going to whoop him. What's going on in here? We got Ruby, the rock collector, inside. Taking down some of the guards, as a couple of the slaves are running up onto the roof. I'm not sure, I think because they're getting chased. So let's go ahead and take, or maybe they are fleeing in back to their cages, which is not a good idea. But we'll go ahead and take out those guards inside. Oh, looks like Toro the Fearless got bored of kicking Slave Master Wada's butt and decided to leave prematurely. But we put her back under duty, and she came over and quickly finished him off. Alright, we got him. Let's go ahead and grab his sword real quick. Take his other gear off. Alright, he has been stripped, and we have all his stuff. And let's go ahead and unlock the shackles of this poor slave behind us who's been trying for a couple minutes now to get out. And here's a nice chop for you, sir. As another of their elite guards was there trying to recapture slaves, as he does not realize he should be a little more worried about his own head right now than slaves trying to escape. Alright, we have slaves around the camp picking their locks and escaping as our soldiers come in and finish off the guards of the camp. Looks like for the most part they're all dead. We have a couple little fights happening here and there, but they're easily crushing the resistance here at the camp. One thing we need to do is check the houses, so we're going to probably send in our men individually to each of these different houses here, make sure that the slave master from the slavers, not the Traders Guild, is dead. So we're going to go ahead and send Griffin, Azarus, and Zan from the Green Army in just to make sure that house is cleaned out. And we need to do that with the rest of these two. We have a couple of elite guards who are pretty tough. They're getting up. But these guys are not nearly as challenging as they were to the Way Station Fortress Army. Though the Way Station Fortress Army did clear out an entire camp and clear out all their guards. But they took a lot heavier damage than we have. But all these guys are more experienced warriors than the guys down south were. Alright, we got a couple of guys over here, so we're going to have to get Zan to help out. It says, the Empire remembers all. No mercy for terrorists, they say. Well, you won't have to worry about giving me mercy in a second. You won't worry about anything in a second, as you will be dead. And looks like actually that slave master was putting a pretty good whooping on Azarus there for a second, but then his friends came in. That's how those fights always go, huh? You were doing okay until the group of friends came in and they all jumped you. Alright, so that slave master is now a pile of slave master mashed human. And we will take his gear and coins off him and throw him in the brig, along with his other guards. And let's check to see if there's anything of interest in these crates. And we're just going to kind of do the same thing around town here. Got a couple of guards who've probably trickled in or gotten back up and are quickly dispatched down into the dirt. We're going to pick him up and throw him in the clink here too. And we'll heal up anybody who took a hit, though. I'll say this run's been a lot easier than the first run, I would say, at the stone camp. I think we've definitely taken less damage in this run than we did in the other one. So maybe the initial archer volley helped out with some of that, and that they didn't seem to trigger the alarm until a little later. But I think we've wrecked quite a few of them. We've released quite a few slaves, too, and I see some of them kind of standing around my guards, so we probably have a couple more recruits, potentially, on this raid. And now that we have that slave master Wada knocked out and picked up, this place should be decommissioned. So we've, for all intents and purposes, already beaten this place into submission. If we left now with everybody and we came back when the place reloaded, it should be destroyed. So this is all just kind of for being thorough, making sure that we've released all the prisoners we can as we get little extra faction points here and there with the sub-factions for, unlocking locks and stuff like that on the outlaws. I think we already are considered an ally of the outlaws, just for how many of them we've rescued. Alright, let's come in here real quick. We got a couple of guards that we can take out. See how it goes here. Twitch versus a slave master. And two hits, and Twitch quickly took down the slave master. It's been a while since I've had Twitch. And speaking of Twitch, I should try that sometime, playing on Twitch. Maybe doing a live stream of Kenshi in the future. I'm considering that since YouTube is being such a stickler about some of these things with the new policy, especially against doing gaming videos and stuff. I feel kind of at risk, so I'm, if I do this in the future, Twitch might actually be a good platform to use. Alright, enough about that. I do appreciate you guys tuning in today too. If you want to leave a like, I'd appreciate it. What are these guys doing? I didn't command my Shek warriors to come in here, but they're gathering around a cage, and they seem to be beating the crap out of a guard inside who's screaming. That is weird. I didn't know that was a thing that could happen. Threat removed, one of them says, as the guard inside screams, "No!" Ah! Jesus. Man, that's brutal. They all came in and beat him with their weapons into a bloody mash of human carcass. Well, he's not dead yet, but he's out for 110 seconds, though he does seem to be screaming in his unconscious state. Thrasher's just there staring. I'm not sure exactly what's going on with that. Maybe the guard hit Thrasher? I'm not sure what happened, but then every single Shek warrior that's in Toro the Fearless's guild seemed to run over there and beat the living liver crap out of that guard. That was interesting. I've not seen that before. We've got a runner as he shoots one of my guys in the chest for 0 damage. Thank you, Armor Smithers, for the good quality armor. See? Who said that Leroy Jenkins was good for nothing? He's a great armor smith. And Dusty, I think, is one of the other ones. We have a couple good armor smiths and the Peak Top Forge. Alright, we have a couple guards who stowed away inside the main building. Let's look upstairs here. Oh yeah. They've snuck away, trying to stealthily recover, thinking we wouldn't look up here. But we're clearing this camp out. That guy's unconscious. Good enough. Let's take this one down. No, don't heal him. Oops, that was my fault. But that's okay. This place is going to be decommissioned. We'll let one of them live so he can tell the story of how we came and whooped their butts. Let's grab some of these splint kits real quick, as we can use a couple more med kits for some of the prisoners to give out. And I don't think we want to bother with the chests. There's probably nothing of value in these slave camps from what I've seen. That guy's fully healed up too, so there'll be a couple of guys that will probably survive this attack, but that's okay. We don't need to kill everybody. One of the Traders Guild elite guards on the ground says, "You're lucky I haven't ripped your head off already, anti-slavers. Get out of my face!" Okay, as he lays face down in the dirt and gets up from his beating we just gave him to receive another beating. There you go. And that mushed his face and chest in is absolute red zone. And we'll go ahead and kidnap him and throw him in one of the prisons so he doesn't get up and cause more problems. So I don't think he'll be getting up from that one anytime soon, but we'll throw him in the brig here. And I think we have successfully cleaned out any of the buildings that were holding slaves. If I find, I guess, any more, we can check them. But the Port South was definitely one of the easier cities I've run into. And I think from here we're going to go ahead and make our way west to Port North. I think there's one city in between the two of these that I haven't visited yet because it's so far out in the north east that is out of the way pretty much for my influence range, I guess. And wouldn't mind going to check it out, see if there's any interesting recruits or something there. But we have to be a little bit careful about the Traders Guild being inside the city and setting off the United Cities. So up until now we've been kind of staying out of the United Cities, so we don't have a faction war breakout in the cities, as we would like to try to keep at least neutral with United Cities after the Slavers and Traders Guild are gone. Alright, just kind of cleaning up guys who are trying to get up and attack us still. That one should be permanently down. Hold on, here we go again. Look at this. These guys are just absolutely ganging up and beating the crap out of this guy. Look at him, this chop suey. As if having the elite warriors of the Shek and their entire squad on him wasn't enough. Molly, Zepp, and a bunch of the archers came in here and decided to pop some bolts into this guy. Wow, they totally mashed his arm off, and he's a negative 135 on all his stats. Guys, come on, you gotta stop. That's unsportsmanlike conduct at the very least. Alright, they don't even let you eye gouge in the MMA, you know? That's a pretty brutal sport, but you guys are taking it to the next level here. Alright, Qualsh got himself another prisoner. I'm going to throw him in this cage, even though it looks like he was trying to set him right on top of the now fleshy remains of a guard that's been completely pancaked into submission. We need to take our Kraken the Crab out of here too, as he seemed to be stuck behind the counter. But I think that's going to pretty much wrap it up for this place. And I'm just kind of curious, if you guys play Kenshi, have you ever seen that happen before with one of these prisoned guards in a camp like this, where all your crew would gather around and just vehemently beat the crap out of him? Because I've never seen that before. That must be some kind of like little Easter egg that happens only occasionally. Now, we didn't look inside of this building, and I am trying to leave no stone unturned. I want to make sure we don't have anything in here of value, but that's completely empty. Interesting. Doesn't for purchase either. Usually those are the kind of buildings that they would be for sale. But seeing as we are hostile with these guys... Oh, look. There's one gate guard just sitting out here. He's like, if I don't turn around, I can pretend like nothing happened and I didn't know that there was a huge assault and everybody was murdered inside the keep. Maybe my boss won't fire me if I just don't turn around and look behind me. I don't think that's going to work out for him very well. So we're going to go ahead and go out that exit. And we have a couple other little shacks over here. We can make sure that there's no prisoner cages that are still full with actual slaves, former slaves, not the new slaves, which are the guards. And let's see what we have here. If we have any of the guards on our shoulders too that we've picked up, we should probably check that. Well, that's just a power station. That's pretty uniform, so I'm going to skip that one. And let's take a look in here real quick. I don't see any more prisoners. So we'll go and open up this next one. They don't seem to be locked either. And this guard says, "Really think your lunatic anti-slaver accomplices can take down the Empire?" We're doing a pretty good job. I don't know if you've noticed, but we've taken down every city we've visited so far that we wanted to take down. And we're not taking down the Empire, just the Traders Guild and slavers. So no need to worry. They'll still be here after your faction is dead. At least that's the plan. Now, it could go horribly wrong, and then we have to destroy the entire United Cities, which is a thing that could happen. But I think that'd be less fun than keeping the United Cities there and just taking out the slavers and Traders Guild. As he smacks Buster the Goat, but Buster the Goat strikes back and goat horns him right in the sensitive spots. All right, and we will take his fun toys and throw them in the dirt. He'll be very sad about that, I'm sure. And let's gather everybody up here, and we'll throw them out in the desert to traipse along until they get to Port North, and we can do this all again. We'll take our battle crabs with us, and I think they've all been healed up. We have Kraken already picked up, but we still need to pick up Sheldons and Whoopins wherever they are at, as they are definitely going to slow us down, as crabs, for whatever reason, are very slow. One of these guys still had a guard on their shoulder, so we'll go and throw them in there. The only person I want to make sure we take with us to make sure they are thoroughly dead is the slave master, or the leader of the Traders Guild from this place. I think it was, what was it, Haga or Waga or something like that? Whoever it was. We got him earlier, and we ripped his leg off or something. So he's probably going to be dead before we get him into a prisoner cell. But just in case he's not, we're not going to leave him here to be rescued or at the whim of whatever could possibly happen to him, as crazy as Kenshi is rather unpredictable at times. Alright, here we go. We got everybody outside here beating down another guard, and let's go and move it along here. Move everybody out towards the exit, as otherwise we'll be here all day beating down guards that have been patched up. We have a couple guys inside just checking the Trade Master's quarters that we've taken out, and checking to see if there's anything worth looting, maybe some extra food packs or something like that. And we got a couple of potential new recruits following us out, which are released slaves, and we'll get them trained up and send them back west, most likely. Depending on how things go, we might make their own little regiment of non-combat new rescues, we could call them, or something to that effect. So we don't send in these guys with raggedy pants and a stick into a fight some of these better equipped slavers. So I got Voodoo working on his lockpicking. Looks like he's up at 68% already on lockpicking, which is not bad. And we have Hobbs and a couple other guys in there too, trying to see if there's anything worth taking with us. And Grambler's getting some target practicing in here. A couple of slavers who decided to get up and make a break for it. Sticking around this slave camp is resembling a game of Bop-A-Mole, as a couple of them will run over and patch up their friends so we can get up to be shot in the face again and be taken back down. But we're making our way to the exits. We're going to try to re-congregate outside, and we might go ahead and take a break here on this episode, as it's probably been about 45 minutes of me talking about our exploits here at the Port South. And it looks like we have a nice, clean, open cage here for this guard we forgot to drop off, so Xena can do that. And look, it looks like some of our newly rescued slaves outside are speaking up finally. It says, one of them says, "Free at last." And then one of them said, "This is all thanks to you." And another one saying, "Looks like we're out of sight." Feeling jumpy after that. And let's say this one saying, "Maybe weak and half starved." One of them saying, "I'm joining you. Maybe weak and half starved, but for now on, I will fight alongside you." I think he probably means, but from now on. That's all right. You know, they got their own little slang, I'm sure, in the slaver community, so they don't have to have perfect English. It's fine. It's fine. That's what the training at the Peak Top Forge is for, right? We're gonna get you some gear. We'll get you some food, some armor, get you guys going. That's probably what I'll do. I'll take some of these new recruits. I'll probably put them in their own little clique, and we'll send them back over to one of the more safe cities as soon as we get done raiding Slave Camp North. I'm going to strip this guy's weapons off and store them, and we'll get everybody outside and ready to go. Well, guys and gals, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to come here and watch me play some Kenshi. Hope you're enjoying it. This playthrough is all about me creating a big society and trying to get a bunch of different cities set up and create a symbiotic relationship with some of the different factions around without having to necessarily destroy everybody. Just make the world of Kenshi a little bit better place than it was when we first got here. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I appreciate it, and I'll see you in my next episode. Later.